My grandmother was visiting one day from Mexico. She's never lived in the United States. She has no idea what life is out here. She was watching Univision News, where they depicted a black American committing a crime. She turned around and said, Oye, estos negros solo estorban, ¿verdad? Hey, these black folks, all they do is get in the way, huh? Here's the interesting part. She's never met a black person in her life.
What's up, YouTube? I hope you're doing fine wherever you are today. So, as I usually say, no one is born racist, but it is the environment that we come from that makes us to be racist. Just like the theory of the looking glass theory, every child is born a blank slate, but with time, the environment that they come from is what makes them who they are. So this Latina brother explained why Latinos are born and raised in an environment where they are taught to be racist. He's going to share his personal anecdotes, and I hope that we are going to learn from it. And also, I got some Latino clips talking about racism also in the same video. Remember, the first video that I did about Latino racism in America also spiked some information, and so as a result of that, I had to find out what was the reason for these people becoming this, because generally we are we have Afro Latinos, we have a group of Latinos who are literally like Africans and African Americans. Literally, they have the black ancestry. So let's watch this video and then come back, say something as usually do. I hope we learn from the video.
A lot of people don't understand when I say that Mexicans are culturally racist. They think that I'm calling us openly racist. We are culturally racist, and this is how. Part of our culture is to frown upon dark skinned people. It's been passed down to us by the Spaniards, by our colonizers, by the people that conquered us, taught us that dark skin is inferior, light skin is superior. We were taught that. It was passed down to us, meaning it's part of our culture. We are culturally racist in this aspect. That doesn't mean I go out in the streets and want to hurt black people because they're black. It means that our teachings, the way we're raised, is that we are raised to subconsciously believe that dark skin is inferior and light skin is superior. Another element in our Mexican culture is Univision News, Univision channel. That channel is run by white Latinos. The ideologies and subliminal teachings that they teach is very similar to Fox News. White supremacist-ish. They make efforts to depict dark-skinned people as criminals, that whenever they even bother sharing news about dark-skinned people is when they do something wrong. But yet, when they want to mention anything that has to do with light-skinned people, specifically white people, is to depict them as them doing good deeds around the world, feeding the homeless, etc. You get it. My grandmother was visiting one day from Mexico. She's never lived in the United States. She has no idea what life is out here. She was watching Univision News, where they depicted a black American committing a crime. She turned around and said, Oye, estos negros solo estorban, ¿verdad? Hey, these black folks, all they do is get in the way, huh? Here's the interesting part. She's never met a black person in her life. She has no idea what it's like to interact with a black person, but yet she already has an opinion about black people as a whole. Why? Because part of our culture, in this particular case, Univision News, since we were children, we have been subliminally taught the blacks are bad criminals, etc. And whites are good, decent, giving, saviors, etc. We're taught that. Hearing her express such a hateful remark about a people that I knew for a fact she's never even interacted with. You don't even know a black person. How dare you come here to this country and have a whole opinion about these people? I I resented her deeply for it. I regret it because you can't hate her for that. She never got the opportunity to learn what you have. I got the privilege of learning things that I self taught. Since she's been a child, she's been working in the fields, never had the opportunity to sit and read a book to educate, nothing. All she ever has to teach her anything was this racist, biased news program. How could I blame her? She doesn't even know any better. And even if I sat with her today, I don't even think I could help her understand at this point because she has lived 80 years worth of only understanding this mentality. A lot of people go to their graves thinking this is
When Latinos claim that light-skinned and darker-skinned Latinos are treated the same, it's always amusing to me. Yesterday, my sister called me to talk about this incident that happened at school with my darker-skinned niece, who is literally the smartest little girl in the world. She speaks Spanish, she speaks Arabic, she speaks English. She's gotten a straight A honor roll for the past 4 years in a row, and all her teachers love her. And she's quite popular. She has little friends too. They come to her house and play with her all the time. But that's not why I got a call from my sister. I got a call because my little niece was in the lunch line, and some little boy came up to her and was like, "Oh, you can't be in this line." And she looked at him confused, why? And he said, "Oh, it's because you're black." My niece is 8. She didn't even know how to respond to this question. So she just let him cut her and just didn't say anything. And when she got home and told her parents, she was like, "Why did he call me black when I'm not black? I'm Mexican and Salvadorian." Her parents had explained to her that that boy made that comment to try and make fun of her skin tone. So all you Latinos out there who are still using the term negro and negra as, "Oh, it's just a term of endearment. We're just teasing them. It's all love." You are teaching that to your children. It is being passed down, and they're saying stupid shit like that in schools to my niece. So anyway, my sister and her husband have asked the teacher to contact the child's parents and let them know that their son is racist and colorist, and they should be raising him better.
Can you speak on the tension between Puerto Ricans and Dominicans?
Of course, it's white supremacy. It's the worst thing that ever happened to Latinos, Hispanic, Afro, Puerto Ricans. I would say I have to Rosa's in my head.
Shout out to Rosa Clemente.
Rosa Clemente, my sister. But the truth is, the worst thing that ever happened to us is that they gave us flags. Because they divided us in a way where now we like to flex on each other, right? Colombia and Venezuela, beef. Puerto Rico and the Dominican, beef. Colombia and Panama, beef. And it's white supremacy at work. It's like you're walking around with a colonizer's flag, speaking the colonizer's language, shaming other people because they don't speak Spanish, right? But that's not my native tongue. My native tongue is Arawak or Taino, right?
Yeah.
They didn't teach us they took our language for us. But we do that to one another, and it's been so. Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are the same people, and people gonna come. I don't have Twitter, so don't waste your time. There is the same people. Cuba and Puerto Rico were called the same bird with two wings, right? And so you look at these people, and they're told. It's all white supremacy. It's like, "Oh, you got good hair. Dominicans are darker. They closer to Haiti. They got Haitian blood." Haitian people are Afro-Latinos. Technically, they're from Española. They belong to us as well. All of that stuff is foolishness. Because if you go to Puerto Rico and you go to the Dominican Republic, you see struggle. And every single day they tell us, "But you're not like that. Well, you a citizen. Right. Are you really a citizen?" Because when the hurricane came, the only papers they threw at you were a bounty.
Word up.
Know what I'm saying? So I just sit here and I think about all of the things that divide us. And when it comes to being Puerto Rican and Dominican and being told that I didn't have to tell people I was Dominican because I had good hair, or you're not like that. You more us than you are them. That messes with your self-esteem because that's what I am, and there's nothing I can do about it. So you telling me technically that part of me is there's something wrong with part of me because I don't present. I present darker over there, and that's what they've done with Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. People who off fried plantains, eat peas and rice that come from where we really come from. Right. People who Spanish is not our native tongue. In all honesty, and they took our village away from us. I speak about the village all the time because I know that is so anti-American. America really pushes individualism because it dilutes groups of people that would
That's
normally
right.
have power, right?
It takes a village to raise a child.
Right. That's a smart woman.
Welcome back to the channel. So, questions me a lot. The brother who shared his story, hearing what the grandmother said about the black people, also helped me in a lot of questions, because, ironically or funnily, you can find the same situation in an African household, because when most of Africans are not told about Black Americans, the Black American history and everything. So literally, they will fall victim of the stereotypes, and the enemy made it for the Latinos to consider Black people and made them have these stereotypes that you're seeing today. It's not like it's their liking. One, it can be ignorance, because most of people don't take the time to understand who are their neighbors. The story of the young child, the who went to school, and then a Latino baby, a young boy told him that you need to get out of the line because you are black, and the child goes back at home and asks the parent, why did he call me black? I'm Dominican, I'm Latino, So this means that sometimes our parents, our people who surrounds us, don't play their role in ensuring that we understand our true lineage, demystifying the stereotypes, demystifying the wrong information, the misinformation that we always have, against Black people. And it saddens that even in Africa, we have people who have those stereotypes, who all those stereotypes of Black Americans. And it's not like it is only a Latino thing. This is something that we need to know. And mostly you find that it is in the environment that these people are being brought up to. It is the environment that, and this also questions me, that we have the roles of parents, we have the roles of elders, we have the roles of the church, we have the roles of parents and guardians to tell us things which are happening in our society, to tell us the reality. Because let me take you back to the grandmother who said that yeah, those are Black people, they usually do that, while herself, she has never met a Black American, or so she maybe interacted with a Black American to get the real picture of everything which is happening, which surrounds them. So with that being said, it means that they are fallen victim of the stereotypes that were put before with the enemy. The enemy really played a big part. Look at Asians. Just yesterday, I did a video of Korean person talking about this Korean woman telling, she's a celebrity actually, telling the child that in Africa people eat soil, such kind of things. And they haven't gone to Africa. They haven't interacted with Africans to know the true reality or what's happening or what's around Africans. They haven't done that. They always just deduct the information from maybe some little things that they saw on social media, the little stereotypes that they believe to be true, but they are not truth. So as parents, we are advised to tell our children the truth, to show them the light, and because they are the product of the system, they're the product of the society. And as I've said, a child is born a blank slate, and whatever you feed the child is whatever he'll grow with. The child who told the other lady that get out the line, you're a black, that is the environment that she comes from. He comes from an environment that tells them that a black person owns nothing, should not be in line with white people. He's a subhuman, So you need to think much about this. While we blame Latinos for their racist ideas, we also need to understand that the enemy has played a big role in dividing people, especially in America. Look, in the face of a white person, Latinos are black, blacks are blacks. So there is no degree of black, there is no degree of black, or there is not something that measures. You are the blackest, you are blacker, you are a mini black. That is not like something like that. To the white person, you are black, you are black, you are black, you are black. So you need to understand that there is a lot much going on, a lot much that we should be talking about. But I hope that these small commentary. I'm trying to shed light on things which are happening. I'm trying to talk about these things. But I'm leaving you this time to tell me what you think in the comment section about these issues, because I believe that we need to talk about them. These are things which affects us as black people, affects us as Africans, because the same stereotypes that some people have about Africans are the same stereotype that people have about black Americans in the USA. So we need to take our time, demystify these issues, get to know the truth, get to know the reality. Sometimes it involves us to get on the ground, talk to people one-on-one, get to know what they're thinking about these issues. So tell me what you think in the comment section about these issues. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Peace be with you. Salute.